Last video I checked out Donkey Kong Country mods, but this past week, I was in a little bit of a Star Fox sort of mood. And guys, I found a mod for this game that legitimately may be the best ROM hack on the entire platform. This is the hidden world of Star Fox mods.
Good luck!
This is a fascinating hack called All Range Mode, which more or less does exactly what it's named. It adds an all range mode level into the game. And while it's more or less a tech demo right now because it's just Corneria, I think it's really impressive to add a feature that even Nintendo had to delay till the sequels. Although the boss is maybe a bit too hard for my tastes. The lead developer for this was Boris Norriss, who is currently working on a new project called SuperFX with the goal of getting Star Fox to run on a vector display monitor. So let's address the giant elephant in the room. This game has a pretty big problem. It only runs at 20 FPS, but it frequently dips well below that, sometimes all the way down to 9. For some reason, this has never bothered me, probably because I grew up with it. But this is the 60 FPS patch, and it was developed by KandoWontu. It boosts the game to run at 60 FPS, and the results are pretty glorious to behold. Just be aware this process doesn't work on console, so you're stuck using an emulator for this. Here's a comparison with the original game on the left. There were a few small bugs that I ran into with this one, like the boost meter would sometimes refill itself 3 times as fast. But I admit it was probably the way I set up my emulator, as it requires a little bit of tinkering. As awesome as this hack is, I don't recommend trying this one out. Trust me, you'll see why at the end. This is a funny little hack called the button color hack, made by Asaki. All it does is change the color of the buttons from purple to non-American. This just reinforces the fact that we got the worst Super Nintendo design over here. This hack finally gives your Super Nintendo mouse something to do besides painting and composing. This is mouse mode, once again by Kando. Now this one does work on console, and you do it by plugging in your mouse into the Player 2 port. You can still control the R-Wing with the D-pad, but now you can aim with your mouse. Now I initially didn't like this one because it took quite a while for me to get a hang of the controls. I guess I'm just so used to playing this game with inverted movement. But once I did, it ended up feeling pretty natural to me, and honestly this should have been an option in the base game. Now we are to the first big hack for this game. This one is simply titled MiniHack, but despite its name, it adds a pretty substantial amount of content. It was developed by Sunlit Space 542. And I want to point out real fast that I'm playing on the DX version, which is a remaster of the original MiniHack mod from 2022. This adds a brand new route with 6 levels. 5 of them are based on original locations, but 1 is a brand new planet. The game overall also received a bit of an upgrade as the character portraits were redone to match their Star Fox 2 appearance. And also Corneria got a brand new coat of paint. As someone who has played the original to death, this is a breath of fresh air. The levels themselves were clearly designed by someone who understood what made this game so goated in the first place. There was also a pretty nice balance of difficulty here. That is until I got to Venom, and then it got maybe a little too difficult, at least for me. But overall, this one was pretty great, and it was a treat to finally see a new planet. I'd call this one the definition of short but sweet. It's worth pointing out that every mod on this list requires Star Fox Revision 2, which was an updated version of the original cartridge released here in the States. It patched a pretty big bug that you probably never noticed. It fixed the level Fortuna, which was impossible to 100%. Instead, the max score you could get there was just 87. I was never good enough to notice this with my version 1 copy, but let me know in the comments if you ever did. Now we are getting close to my personal favorite mods here, but before we look at them, this video is sponsored by GameSir. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'd know how much I love to talk about controllers. I'm usually talking about the worst of the worst, but this time it's about the best controller that I've ever used. This is the G7 Pro. It features a customizable D-pad, removable faceplates, anti-drift control sticks, multiple wireless and wired connection options. Oh, it also comes with this cool little charging base, as well as the mythical M button. Mine also came with 1 free month of Xbox Ultimate Game Pass. If you're looking to finally upgrade your arsenal, I'm going to make things really easy for you. I'm going to put an Amazon affiliate link in the description below, and that way not only can you get a really wonderful new controller, but you can also help support this channel. Anyways, let's get back to the video. This is Randomizer. This is a simple but really fun hack, once again by KandoWontu. It completely randomizes the levels that you play through, except of course the ending and no black hole. By now you've heard me mention KandoWontu a ton, and that is because he pioneered the Star Fox hacking scene. He directly helped with a large percentage of all the hacks available for this game. So let's quickly take a look at some more of his. This is Scored Edition. It takes the scoring system that was in the famous Star Fox Weekend competition cart and integrates it into the base game. This is 21 MHz Super FX. Star Fox shipped with an intentionally underclocked SuperFX chip. Yeah, this was done on purpose. It was done in order to make the game run at a more stable frame rate, but also run slower, so it was easier to play. This hack removes the underclock and makes it run at the standard 21 MHz that the other, later SuperFX games ran at. As you can see, KandoWontu has really pushed the bar forward in terms of Star Fox performance hacks, and now he's working on his own project called FamiDash, an NES-style Geometry Dash demake. Now we are to another big one. This is MiniHack 2, made by Sunlit. This is a follow-up to MiniHack 1. This one also adds a new route, and despite its troll story premise, I highly recommend trying this one out. The level design feels like a straight upgrade to the first, and despite a somewhat lackluster plot, the comm banter did make me chuckle now and again. There is no new location in this one, but I had a better time with this hack than the first, as it felt like a much more refined and complete experience. Sunlit is currently working on an impressive new hack called Star Fox CD, which is going to have an upgraded SuperFX chip for even better performance, as well as CD quality sound with the addition of an emulated sound chip called the MSU1. Their hack is currently in its early stages, but I highly recommend checking out their YouTube channel, where they regularly post updates. I'll put a link in the description. And now we are finally to the last hack, and this one is ridiculously good. You know all of those performance hacks I talked about earlier? This one has all of those, and a lot more. This is Star Fox EX, the culmination of a dedicated group of Star Fox hackers led by KandoWontu. Back in 2020, the famous Nintendo Gigaleak occurred. I was too focused on the original recordings of the Star Fox 64 lines,
Andros has ordered us to take you down,
and the Super Mario World prototype images, to realize that the entirety of the source code to Star Fox also got leaked. This unlocked the door to Star Fox hacking, as it was nigh on impossible to create anything before that. A group of talented hackers, some of which had zero prior experience with ASM hacking at all came together and gave us what can only be considered a masterpiece. This has everything that I would want a Star Fox hack to have. The original game is still here in all its glory, but now an entirely new map with 3 routes are available, all featuring fully new locations and a new boss based off of Nintendo characters. The amount of options and different ways to play here is truly staggering, like different R-Wings and somehow a multiplayer mode. This hack feels like a straight upgrade in every way, a spiritual sequel to the original that even Star Fox 2 failed to capture. After playing through the campaign on 2 different routes, I still feel as though I've barely scratched the surface. When I talked to Kando to prepare for this video, he told me that there are multiple plans for the future, like the addition of that MSU1 sound chip and SuperFX 3. I'll put a link to the trailer so you can all check it out for yourself. Of all the hacks that I've played over the years, few have managed to truly surprise me with their quality, and it's safe to say that Star Fox EX belongs in the Hacking Hall of Fame. I called this video the Hidden World of Star Fox mods, and that's because hidden behind an old rail shooter from 1993 is perhaps the most dedicated and talented group of ROM hackers that I've ever seen. Thank you all so much for watching, and let me know what game you want me to cover next. A special thanks to the Star Fox EX dev team and KandoWontu for helping me make this video, as well as the 2 Patreon supporters who have been bankrolling my Star Fox addiction. Well, until next time, guys. And hopefully one day Nintendo will bring us out of the Lylat Wars.